What is up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy, Motor City Don P. And when you see me, you know that the Motor City Cats are back at it. Came to give
Yes,
you
sir.
stats, not static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And we are joined by Woodward Sports' very own, the illustrious KG. Um, not Kevin Garnett, but
No,
KG.
commonly mistaken for Kelvin Shepard as well. Also not him. So
Exactly. What's going on with you, KG?
nothing, man. Like I was just telling you for the stream, another day in paradise, man. Just going out here, just trying to make the best of it every day. That's all you can do, right?
I feel you. I want to give a big shout out to your boys, Spinmo Racks and Easy of the
Shout out the
Heavyweights.
homies. Yes, sir. My guy.
I get up very early, and so I caught most of the show. I didn't catch the beginning. So before this, I went back to the beginning, and they were talking about this dude who's gone super duper viral for his morning routine. I don't know if you've seen
Okay.
the video, okay? But before the stream, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it through. I might be falling asleep.
Damn.
And then I saw the video with the ice water. I put my face in it, and I'm good to go, man. I'm good to go. So shout
Hey,
out to
pause
that
on
guy.
that. Put your face in that pause, man.
Big pause, big pause. But
Yes,
shout out to
yes.
that guy, whoever he is. I don't know his name, but appreciate you.
I
Got
got
me a
I got
word
to
for the
see this
stream.
video now. You
You
hyping it
haven't
up, I
seen the
got to see
video?
it now. No, I haven't.
You just fill up a bowl full of ice water, right? Ice cubes and
Yeah.
everything, and you just put your face in it.
Oh hell no. No, I'm good on that. I don't need that much shock in my life. I'm good.
Bro. I mean, I'm refreshed. You know what I'm saying? Ready to
Yeah,
go.
hey, ready to go. I
So,
bet you ready to start your day after that, man. It's a big
exactly.
kick
I
in
mean,
the you know what.
yeah, but I mean, I've already started my day. I'm already what 7 hours in.
Oh
So
yeah, that's true. You got a mad head start on us over here in the
yeah,
city of Detroit. So
that's right. Uh, but today we're gonna get into some other things because let's be honest, y'all. It ain't too much going on in Lions Land. There's not a lot of news
nice.
coming out. Nothing.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, real quick, Brody,
go
because
ahead.
I did get a chance to hear your thoughts on the recent signings like Avante Maddox and Rock
Yeah.
Yassin.
Okay. So my thoughts on it. I like the signings, especially the Vontae Maddox signing.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was a starter for a while with the Eagles. He's a Super Bowl
Mhm.
champion. He's a Detroit native. Um, I don't have a lot of issues with the shorter corner thing because I'm a shorter corner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I ain't
hey,
six.
gotta
I ain't
represent.
6'2" now. You know
Hey,
what I'm saying? So I really like the signing. I look at his signing and the Rock Yassin signing as a replacement for Kendall Vildor and Emmanuel Mosley. So we
yep.
swapped those two out. Kendall Vildor may be a fan favorite or not a fan favorite. You may love him, you may hate him.
Hey, I grew to
But
love him.
yeah.
But Lions fans have a hard time with Mr. Vildor, man. They had a real hard time with him.
They having problems.
Yeah.
But I mean, I never thought that Kendall Vildor was as bad as the people thought he was.
Yeah.
Um, you know,
I mean, he was a
it's a
practice
matter of
squad
taste.
corner. What? Yeah, like what you expect. He got thrown in a lot of big situations, and I
Right.
mean, he was a body. He was back there. At least he was on the field. You can at least say that about him. So
Exactly. So it's like, an old lyric comes to mind, but that ain't the case. It's a matter of taste. We as a
yeah.
people decide if Shady's as bad as he say he is. Right?
Oh, bars. I see you. Okay.
um, but yeah, so Kendall Vildor, the same thing that you said about it. I was like, he wasn't brought here to be a starter, and he did quite well for who he was and what he was, and
Yeah.
what he was forced to do. Um, I mean, we're gonna stick on quarterback news. I haven't been able to say this because I had a take and I gave somebody some credit. And I don't think I should have gave that person credit.
Uh-oh.
I know you
Retracting
heard
the
about the
credit.
news. I know you
Retracting
heard
the
about the
credit. I
news.
got to hear this one. Okay.
Jeffrey O'Hell Kuda has signed
Yeah.
with the Minnesota Vikings. Now,
Great signing by the Vikings.
You know I hate this man.
Yeah, I know.
But
With the burning passion.
The credit that I gave him is I said, I don't believe that he is motivated by revenge. I just think he's on, 1 year contracts forever, and he's just playing wherever he can play.
Yeah.
Apparently, I don't know if this is true. Apparently, he had lots of offers. Cap.
Okay. Lots of offers.
But he
Plural,
decided,
lots of offers.
Exactly. He decided to come back to the NFC North to play with Coach Flores. So then I started thinking, do you know that since he was traded to the Atlanta Falcons, we have played that man every year?
Really now?
Yes. Remember, when he was traded to the Falcons, we played them that year. When he went to the Texans,
I was at that game.
Right. When we went to the Texans, we played him that year. Now he's going to the Minnesota Vikings, and we're going to play him twice.
Well, did he really play? What was the snap count on that?
Okay. So he's just trying to get it through osmosis. Okay. He ain't playing, right? He just wants to be on the team. Right. He want to be on the team to beat the Lions. And he hasn't.
I do feel it.
He hasn't beaten us.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate Jeff Okudah. Like, of course, the pick was asinine when you look back at it. But ultimately, he was a corner playing in a system that wasn't really suited for him. And he came into a situation that was a win now mandated, thing by Martha at the time. Was it Martha or was that the early?
Yeah, it was Martha. It was Martha.
Yeah, that was Martha. So yeah, but that was when Sheila was first starting to get involved a little bit. And they imposed the win now update. They thought a corner was the right move, and bam, Jeff Okudah happened. The rest is history. But I mean, yeah, he just has been not able to really find his footing. He went to the Falcons, went to the Texans. I'm sure he still maybe feels a way about the Lions, and if he does, hey, that's on you. I hope he doesn't, but ultimately it's gonna be nice to see him twice a year. I'm sure he'll get some snaps here and there, rotational snaps, and if he does, I hope they go for a 40-yard JMO bomb. So that's all you can really hope for.
50. I'll take 50. So
highlight reel.
But by the system that he came to that didn't suit him, did you mean to say NFL football? I just was wondering.
I mean, if you want to be technical, I mean, damn, dog, you really hate that man. Hey, get it off, man. You know my slogan. Get it off, man. Get it off. If that's what you got to do. Great signing by the Vikings, though. I really do appreciate them for adding him to the CB room.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Hey, did they re-sign Byron Murphy? My bad.
Did they? I don't know. Did they? I thought they did.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I was about to say out Byron Murphy and Jeff Okudah. Yeah, that sound 1-1 right there.
I mean, Byron Murphy is creeping up on Jeff Okudah with, just the vibes, because what he was doing was so ridiculous. Hey, y'all, look over here. Look at the Vikings.
Right.
No,
why is nobody paying attention to us?
Yeah,
like
so
what type of like, and then we play them and they score 9 points. So it's just like, what you want us to do, man? Like this prime time football we talking about.
You want to beat a man, you got to beat the man, and they couldn't do it.
That is a fact. That's a fact.
Shout out. What in the last 8 games? What are we 7-1 against the Vikings?
Yeah. And that last one being probably the most dominant one of them all. Like that one on week 18 don't get talked about enough. We really came in there and smacked them. It didn't matter about the injuries. It didn't matter. Like the game plan was the game plan. And then we just went home and smacked them, dog. It was crazy.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Before we get into our tie, but let me welcome everyone in the chat, especially Kay, because you know she gonna be hating like, oh, Chef don't
Yeah.
be he be ignoring stuff. Okay, all right.
Acting bougie now, man. Moving up in the world.
All right, what up though? Tactical Sport.
Shout
Lisa
out.
Di Lorenzo is here. We got, let's see, Jessafan is here. Nobody is here. Owen 16 is here. Terrible name, sir, but I understand it.
Hey, get it off.
K Press is here. Who's that? Devin Davis is here. Salty Pork Chops is here. All right. So we got the
some
people in
Woodward
here.
Sports
The crew is
regulars
here.
in there. Okay. All right.
Yeah. You know. We attract some of the same people.
Yeah, well, figured that, but you know, it's always nice to go. What's the saying where everybody knows your name? You know, it's kind of nice to be in establishments like that. Yes.
I mean, but some of that 70,000 y'all got, y'all just send it over my way. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
Hey man, I ain't in charge of that one. That one out of my hands. I can plug you though. You know, I'm gonna do my best to plug my mans, but that's pause. But you know, that's all I can.
Yeah,
do.
That was a big pause.
No, it was. I had to catch it. Bro, you can't say nothing these days. Everything is a pause now. Like it's crazy.
Especially with Diddy running around. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make sure.
Yeah, we got some crazy people on the streets, man. Well, he ain't on the streets now,
but one thing I heard about Diddy is, you know, Diddy likes to party, and you got to tell him no.
Yeah. Hey, Cat tried to tell y'all, bro. Like, there's been too many instances. I mean, Dave Chappelle, he tried to tell you. So many people tried to warn us, man, and we just didn't listen. I heard the parties was lit though, a little too lit, but they was lit.
Yeah, Dave told y'all I was 100% Cambodian. He told you.
Yeah, pure.
Oh, I wanted to put this in the chat. I can put a poll in my chat. I don't know how to put the StreamYard polls in, but I'm gonna put a poll in my chat. Okay, because this is something else from the heavyweights that I saw. I thought was ridiculous. Okay. I'm gonna put it in there. All right. So I'm gonna start the poll. For those of y'all that are in my chat, y'all can answer it. I would hope that y'all are just kind of integrated. All right. The poll I put in the chat is: have you seen Any Given Sunday?
Oh.
Come on, KG. Don't tell me no.
Oh, you was asking me. I thought you was talking to the people in the chat. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
I done seen it. It's been a minute, but yeah, absolutely.
Okay, because neither of the heavyweights have seen it. Okay.
What I mean, it makes sense.
No,
they a little. It was a little before their time, just a little bit.
You got to go back and watch it. So Spinny and Easy, if y'all see this, stop it. Get some help.
Yeah.
Go watch the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Classic.
Because my name is Willie Beeman.
Right.
You know what
my
I'm saying?
boy Willie Beeman throwing up in the huddle, man. Yeah, you better stop playing. Bro, that was a great movie.
I'm gonna tell you what. I watched the movie in high school, and the next week, my offensive line was bad. I did it.
Really?
I did it.
Oh, you gave him the Willie? Come on, man. Oh, that's tough. I know they were rocking with you after that.
I don't even remember.
I bet you know. Oh man, you blocked that one out.
They were already bad enough to begin with, bro. So I was like, y'all ain't gonna block and get the hell out the way.
Hey, the man was scoring touchdowns. I mean, you just when he tell you get out the way, you get out the way.
Hey, it is what it was. But we'll see what the people have to say in the chat, and we're gonna get into a little bit of, what would you call it, prospect Tinder, or a little bit of prospect shuffle. So the way that it's gonna work,
interest you.
Yes, may we interest you in such and such. So the way it's gonna work, and I'll get the chat involved in this. Whenever we throw a name out, or we're not gonna throw the name out first, we're gonna list stats and size, maybe position. Probably not tell you the school, because if we tell you the school, it's gonna be too easy, right? It's gonna be too easy.
Yeah.
So what did we settle on? Did we settle on 5 and 5, or want to throw some wild cards in?
Yeah, so I got through 4 out of 5. I didn't get a chance to do my wild card, but I got my defensive position. So I remember we was talking about 2 defensive tackles and 2 defensive ends, 1 early and 1 late round prospect.
Okay. You want to go first with your first prospect?
Sure do. Let me pull it up. Just give me a second here. Do you want to start with D tackles or edges?
We got to keep it funky, man. We got to start with the edges. You know what it is.
I already knew you was leaning that way. It's all good. I'm a mind reader. All right. So, do you want to start with the early or the late round prospect?
Let's get the people into it. We'll start with the early round prospect.
All right, let's start with the early round prospect. All right, this player, he stands at 6'5", 260 pounds with an 82-inch wingspan, and he has a 4.740 time. According to NFL Next Gen Stats, he ranks 9th among defensive ends, just based on a composite score of like performance and athleticism. They come up with a composite score, and he ranked 9th among tight ends that performed at the combine, I believe. He was second team all SEC in back-to-back years, and he's an athletic freak by all accounts. Now, are you ready for me to go into the stats?
Yes.
All right. In 2022, he gave you 28 total tackles, 7 TFLs, and 4.5 sacks. In 2023, he gave you 18 total tackles, 7 TFLs, 4.5 sacks again, and 2 passes defended. In 2024, he gave you 21 total tackles, 9 TFLs, 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 2 passes defended. Can you name me that player?
You said he's 6'5"?
Yes, sir.
You said he played in the SEC.
Yeah.
Can you give me the weight again?
I can give you the weight again. It is 244 pounds.
James Pierce.
That is incorrect.
Oh,
it is funny. I thought that was gonna be your first guess too. I was low-key hoping. I was praying.
So SEC. So It can't be 244, 6'5", 244.
Wait. Okay. Did y'all ask for the early or the late round prospect? Real quick. Let me make sure I did that. Oh, yeah, you did ask for the early. My bad. I was reading off the late. All right, so 200. No. But it was just the weight, though. It was just the weight. 260 pounds.
Okay. Late round prospect.
No, this is first round. Or early round prospect.
Just the early round.
Yeah.
260.
Yep. So I'll run through it. Let me run through it one more time just to clarify. So 6'5", 260 pounds. 82-inch wingspan, 4.740. According to NFL Next Gen, he ranked 9th amongst defensive ends, second team all SEC back-to-back years, and he is an athletic freak.
All right. Did he go to the University of Georgia?
He did.
Is it Michael Williams?
Yes, sir. Ding, ding, ding. You are correct.
Let's go.
You are correct. All right. So before I get into my pros and cons, does the measurables and everything, does that interest you?
100%.
Okay.
All right. Brad and Dan, they like them big paws.
No, they do. All right. So, and it's funny you said that because like he absolutely does fit the build of what they like in defensive ends. Somebody that is athletic, that can stop the run. And let me just see here. My pros, he has elite strength at the point of attack. Very good in play recognition against the run, and you do kind of see that in some of his tape. He doesn't struggle too much with like zone running schemes, and that's something that at the next level you really have to be prepared for. Let's see here. Can play in multiple formations and techniques. pretty much saying like, you know, he played hand in the dirt, he can stand up, and he could be a 3-4 and he could be a 4-3. Preferably, I would probably have him in 4-3. That's just my personal preference, but he's a high motor guy, and we already know how Brad and Dan feel about the high motor guys. Upside as a power pass rusher, not somebody that's going to really beat you with speed, although he is agile for his size. But he is somebody with potential as a power pass rusher, that can utilize that bull rush, that can use his strength, and, you know, just put that body on you, and for lack of better words. My cons, however, he lacks that first step kind of burst. He can win one-on-ones, but like I mentioned before, it's not going to be with a lot of speed. He does know how to move his body well. He has stunt potential as well. You like that about him. He can get washed out, and depending on the running play, just all depends. But one thing I do worry about is he loses his technique when he begins to get tired a little bit, and that's something you got to, you know, watch out for in a young player. But after hearing those pros and cons, does he still interest you?
So he interests me in what is going to be available. What is Brad going to do? Is Brad going to stand pat at 28? Or is he going to trade up into, let's say, pick number 15? That's a long way, right?
Yeah.
I saw that in some mock drafts, there were around that area. So from like pick number, I guess you started 12 to 17, there was kind of a run on edge rushers.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to trade up into that area right in the middle of the run, then it would depend on who is available. I think with Mykel Williams, the raw traits that he has, we got Casey Rogers, who's the second best defensive line coach in the NFL. He's gonna learn from Hutch. He's the same body type as Marcus Davenport. Marcus Davenport, very good player. Okay. Some people think I don't like Marcus Davenport. Go ahead.
Yeah, like, when he's healthy, he's absolutely a good player. But I think he's a little more, I guess you would say, balanced. He's not somebody that will kill you with speed, but he does possess it. We all know he's a power rusher, and it does work to his advantage. But he is somebody that can utilize speed a little bit better than Mykel, just to point that out.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Right. So
yeah,
he can learn. Right. He can learn from Hutch. He can learn from Marcus Davenport. They're all similar body styles. Now, Marcus Davenport, for some reason, just looks bigger. I think it's just the way that he carries his weight. You know what I mean? Because they're around.
Yeah.
I think he's Marcus Davenport's an inch taller than him. They're both 260. Right. I haven't really seen, like, I would have to go back because I wasn't watching the combine to look at how big dudes look. Pause.
Right. Right. I feel you.
I'm just saying that Marcus Davenport like looks like a big dude. Like, he looks bigger than Hutch. You know what I'm saying? Even though Hutch is taller, and I think Hutch weighs a little bit more.
He's a little more lean, I guess you would say. Just a little more lean. Yeah.
So because they're all like similar body types, I think it would be a great room for him to be in. But if you're trading up to 15, I would probably rather get somebody else.
I got you.
If you're staying in between 20 and 25, then I'm fine, because you haven't really, if you go up to 25 to get them, that's 3 picks. You're not really giving up too much.
Right. I'm looking at the draft order as we speak. You said 20 to 25.
Yeah.
All right, so we're looking at teams like at 20, Denver Broncos, at 21, Pittsburgh Steelers, 22, the Chargers, 23, the Green Bay Packers, and 24, the Minnesota Vikings, ironically enough, and at 25, the Houston Texans.
So the Texans wouldn't take them. You probably could trade with the Texans. So you said the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Pittsburgh Steelers at 21.
Yeah, they need a quarterback right now. I don't know. I think Aaron Rodgers is a thing.
You think Hendon Hooker is enough to get a first rounder out of?
No. I don't mean that they need a quarterback from us. I was just saying they need a quarterback.
Okay, yeah.
No, we don't have anything to offer them as far as a quarterback. I'm just saying, like, so I don't think you would have to worry about Pittsburgh. So you said Pittsburgh, Green Bay, Minnesota. Green Bay and Minnesota, I think you'd have to worry about those two.
Yeah.
So you might have to go
crazy.
Yeah, you might have to go up to 22. Who's at 22?
22 is the Los Angeles Chargers, Harbaugh. So
yeah, I think they're slated to take a tight
what do
end.
they need? Yeah,
they
just sign a tight end? They just signed Tyler Conklin. I thought he can start for them. Tyler Conklin.
Yeah, but they also could go get Colston Loveland and get the gang all back together.
Right. If we think in Michigan football, then it's a chance. There's always a chance. You know, you're looking for run blockers. So
exactly. So also, you know, QJ ain't it. So they need receiving help. So I would say you would be able to trade probably with the Chargers, because I don't know who's after the Texans. Because I don't think
after the Texans at 26, the Los Angeles Rams.
They're probably not drafting a receiver. Who's at 27?
Yeah. At 27, the Baltimore Ravens.
I mean, they could draft a receiver.
They could use one. I ain't gonna say they absolutely need one, but they could use one.
So yeah, I'm saying if you wanted to leapfrog both the Chargers, the Packers and the Vikings, yes, you could probably go up to the 22nd pick and trade with the Chargers. Because I don't think if they stayed that long and they were waiting for a receiver to fall, I don't think whatever receiver that they were waiting for is getting drafted between 23 and 27 or 28.
I don't know. Well, yeah, because Green Bay, I mean, they do need a receiver though.
They got 4 number ones, apparently.
Well, what we were told, right? In my Neil voice, I was told that, you know, they receiving core is better, the best receiving core in the NFC North.
That apparently.
Hey.
So if you traded up to 22, yeah, I would take him at 22. And it's the only reason you're trading to 22 is because both the Packers and the Vikings could potentially take him.
Yeah. No, I definitely get that angle of it. Does the fact that he doesn't utilize speed a lot, does that worry you? Because it worries me a little bit, not gonna lie. I kind of want the Lions to get out of the prototypes that they normally, you know, like to have in terms of pass rushers. I know they love stopping the run, and you have plenty of run stoppers here.
So here's the thing, right? And it's just a general question because I don't know. He's a freak athlete, right?
Yeah.
What was his 40 time?
4.7. Let me look one more time. Yeah, 4.740. So it's pretty good for a defensive end. He's not slow.
Yeah. For a dude that size.
Yeah.
My only question is, why do we have to tell you to use something that you have? You know, like it's if you've got a guy that's really powerful and he doesn't bull rush, why do we have to tell you? But I guess, like, if we look at Princely, right now, Princely's not on my prospect list because no, I'm not interested in any round. Princely,
wow, really,
dude,
okay.
Princely doesn't use his hands, and he's not fast, which I don't understand. Like, his go-to move is like, yeah, I'm gonna beat you around the edge on my first step. You're not fast. Why are you doing that? And like, when it comes to NFL tackles, you're not gonna be able to do much. So
really, I mean, he played in the SEC and produced, though. I mean,
bro,
I don't know, man. Any round is crazy, bro. That's a little strong.
All right, 6th round. I'll tell you.
Damn, crazy, man. You crazy.
He's confused.
I think you downplayed him a little bit. I wouldn't, but you don't think that's nothing that's coachable though? At the next level, I feel like you can coach that.
I feel like you can. So my comparison between him and Michael is right. Michael, we have to coach him to use something that he already has.
Right, which is, raw strength, and he's just a freak athlete.
Right. And maybe it's because he is a freak athlete and he doesn't have a polished pass rush plan, right? So he's
I mean, to be honest, he's really getting drafted off his athleticism.
Potential.
Like, if he didn't have that, exactly. He's still a very raw product, and he's good in the run, which is good. But as far as pass rushing, it's a lot to work on there, and that's an area in which, like I said, I think the Lions need that in spades right now. You need as many people that can, get around that edge as possible, and he's developmental. He can develop into one, but you might not see that return right away. That's my only concern.
See, I'm not so concerned about pass rush moves, because if we look at Hutch, right? Hutch came in with a certain skill set. He was over pursuing a lot his rookie year.
Yeah.
Then he came back after one offseason and he had worked on that. He improved that. He also had a few new moves. So
a spin move.
Well, yeah, okay.
That's all I say was the spin move. That's it.
Right, yeah, spin move. But that's one move, right? That's one move. He worked on it.
Yeah.
And he got it in an offseason.
Fair.
Right? So when you draft a guy and he comes in and you be like, okay, you need a plan. Here's your move, spin. Right? You just drill it. After that, he can get more moves the next offseason or throughout the season or whatever. My thing with Princely is he thinks that he has something that he does not, which is speed, and he keeps trying to use it. And that's the thing that I don't understand. Like, I don't know how you think you're fast, but you're not fast.
Right? Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's something else. I really do.
What do you think?
But I'm not mad. See, you sure? Which? All right, fine. You want to know what it is? He was my late round prospect. He was my late round prospect. Goddammit. I hate you so much. You just destroyed him before I can even get it off. All right, but since we talking about him, let's just run through it.
Okay.
All right. So he 6'4", 244. 81-inch wingspan, a 4.7 40 as well, 38-inch vertical. The NFL Next Gen Stats had him ranked the 13th best defensive end amongst everybody at the combine. His RAS score was a 8.6 out of 10. And we already know the college history. But he got better every single year is what you like to see out of him. 39 total tackles in 2022, 10 TFLs, 4.5 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. In 2023, 39 total tackles, 12 TFLs, and 7 sacks. And last year, 37 total tackles, 14 TFLs, and 10.5 sacks, and a fumble return touchdown, believe it or not. But I think the biggest thing with him, and I get what you was getting at. I think he's more of an IQ player. He's somebody that, he's a little more savvy. He tries to outwit you instead of just rely on, athletic ability all the time. And I kind of like that in a young player, because it's easy for a young guy to just rely on his traits, rely on what got you here and what you're good at. Somebody that thinks like a couple steps ahead. And if you watch some of the tape, like, his pass rush moves, he's solid, bro. Like, he's not gonna blow you away, but the numbers don't lie, the tape don't lie. He knows how to get home. I would say that his closing speed is a little underrated, and he's somebody that, in the right scheme, maybe you get him with a Casey Rogers and you can teach him a couple things. And I think that he could be possibly every down edge in the future. Not right, coming into the league, he'll be a third down pass rusher, and that he can be a specialist, but I'm okay with that, based on where the Lions are right now. But overall, I think he has the potential to be a every down edge if you coach him the right way. And he got some stuff to work on in the run game too. So,
all right, before I retort, shout out Easy in the chat. Go watch Any Given Sunday, my guy. Go watch it.
No, you got to see that. Got to see that. Classic.
It is a travesty.
Yeah.
All right. So Princely, here's my thing with Princely. All right, Princely's not Jeff Okudah, so I'll break bread with you. We can kumbaya.
Yeah, not even close. Okay. Not even close.
Princely, to me, I was looking at him after like the first set of mock drafts. I think the very first mock draft batch that came out, there were a lot of Princely to Detroit at 28.
Got it.
So I was looking at him through that lens. Like, my man doesn't use his hands. He's not fast. He tries to beat you with the first step.
Yeah.
No. And then I didn't give it any more thought after that. But the savvy that you mentioned, it shows a lot of football acumen, a lot of IQ. And that's definitely something that shows you that he's coachable, right?
Yeah. Because you can coach the game. Hand moves. You can coach techniques and stuff like that. I'm not really worried about that.
So if it's a late round pick, like would you say a fourth? You think you'll be there in the fourth?
If he falls to 4, I doubt he falls. He's got to be third round at the latest, I think. But yeah, if he's there in the 4th, absolutely. If he's there in the 3rd, maybe you consider, making a move. Just depending on what you've done in the draft so far.
I mean, if you draft him in the 3rd, he's probably definitely going to be better than Broderick Martin. So I don't think I'd have too much of a problem with it. So he's
a specialist though. We need people that can get to the quarterback, and I'm just saying he has a lot of things there that you can coach.
I'll take it. He's no James Houston, but I'll take it.
Yeah, it's funny. You like James Houston? I think this guy could be a little bit better, man. But like I said, he does give it. The tape doesn't necessarily lie to me, and when you look at it, you can kind of see, okay, there's definitely some things there. I think the biggest thing is, and I gotta admit, like, he look a little bit better standing up than he do with his hand in the dirt, and that could potentially be a problem with the Lions, running 4 defensive linemen. So that could absolutely be a problem. But once again, you get somebody like Casey Rogers on the case. Maybe you can help him along the way with that, because I don't think he's too far off. And I do think that, if you get him good in the run game, now you have a very versatile player that you can use on stunts, and if he's out there thinking he's using his IQ instead of just raw reacting, I think that could help his case at the NFL level. I do.
So here's the question that I have. If you had a player that was good in the run game, but needed to learn more moves in the pass game, like Michael Williams, and let's say that they're both going to go in the same round. Let's say they're both first round talents.
Okay.
And then you have a player that's good at rushing the passer, but he needs to kind of refine his pass rush. But he's not great in the run. Who would you rather have to make an immediate impact?
I mean, I hate to say it's kind of easy, but I am taking the pass rusher because at this point, when you just look at what the Lions have done to this point, um, I hate to say this, and fans get ready for this. Y'all might not be pleased about this. There is a potential that Marcus Davenport could be your starter again. They could really like what he brought to the table. And I know it was very limited. Don't get me wrong. It was very limited, but you talking about Dan Campbell. He's somebody that's very familiar with, his game and has been around him for a very long time. So that trust could already be there. And they just feel like, okay, kind of unfortunate injury happened pretty early in the year. If we can go get a specialist that we can put in on third downs, because we already know he's versatile in the way that you can play him in the run, you can play him in the pass as well. You go out there, you get a specialist for third downs that's specifically for pass rush, kind of like a James Houston type situation, because that's how they really utilize James Houston. He wasn't an every down defensive end, but you would see him in a lot of third down packages, long passing situations. You would see him out there. You can go get a guy like a Princely and have him as, maybe your number two in terms of, rotational people to go out there and rush the passer. Maybe even number one, depending on how camp goes and things of that nature. But Marcus Davenport could be your starter, and you would just hope and pray to God that he gives you the health. But if he's able to do that, then you might strike gold. And then that'll give you also time to fine tune and develop him into what you want him to be.
I thought I was going to be angry, but I'm not mad.
Yeah, I was about to say the jury deliberates. She was making me nervous.
It just, I don't believe in it though. Like I told you, like last time you were on here, like I'm really in his corner. I really want him to succeed. I just don't believe in it. I don't believe in his health.
And trust me, I get you. The fan part of me absolutely understands. I do.
I feel like he has more chance to be another Emmanuel Mosley situation than he has to turn his career around and just start staying healthy.
Yeah.
But I've said before, if you have him in a rotation, that's going to keep him most likely in the game. But then here's the thing. If you have him and Princely, what happens when he needs an extended breather? That's my question.
That's a good question. That's a good question. Because they haven't made a lot of moves there. So that's a damn good question. I guess we would have to see what the first round looks like, because Princely is somebody that, I don't think he'll be first round unless a team just really thinks they know what they're doing and they just really believe in him to that degree. But he is somebody that could be around in the second, maybe even third, that you can take a flyer on. And like I said, he's somebody that, he's coming in with a skill that's already like NFL ready to me. And it's a skill that the Lions are lacking desperately. Like, once again, we have enough people that can stop the run. I'm not worried about this team stopping the run. They've been top, 3 in stopping the run the last 2 years. And they did that with all kind of people in the lineup in 2023. Do I need to bring up Tyson Alu and Bruce Irvin and people like that? They was in and out of people in 2023. No, he did. He put Derek Carr in a compromising situation, man. Got us that game. Shout out Bruce Irvin. But when you just, I'm not worried about them stopping the run. And then you bring a guy like Casey Rogers in. I'm definitely not worried, especially once Aleem gets healthy. You got a lot there. I really like some of the stuff that they did, in the defensive tackle room with Roy and bringing back Levi. Another year of Mekhi Wingo. I'm not really worried, man. And you have good linebacker play. So in terms of like outside runs, I would just rely on my linebackers to go out there and make plays because they're that good at this point. You brought back Derek Barnes. That's his like specialty. We already know what Jack Campbell do, his lateral, quickness, and Anzo can do everything. He's a Swiss Army knife. So that's how I would play it. That's just me though.
Okay, but here's the thing. Here's the counter to that. If we have Marcus Davenport as our starter, then why do we need a Princely? Because if we remember, Marcus Davenport is 6'6", 260. We know he's strong and violent, and he's a massive human being. Pause.
Yeah.
We know he plays a run very well, but we also know that his best season, in which he played 11 games, he got 9 sacks. And then you can look at what he did in week 1 when he touched up, and literally touched up because he didn't really get him on the ground. But he got to Matthew Stafford like 3-4 times.
Yeah.
So he was in the backfield. He was disrupting. So why would we need a Princely?
Because you don't have a James Houston anymore, and he's better than a AQM or a Pat O'Connor. That would probably be my best answer. And he's young and he's on a rookie contract.
Fair point. You had me at Pat O'Connor. All right.
Not a fan, I see. Not blowing your wide over him, as Flannel Sam would say.
No, but I'm not like TaylorMade. I don't know if TaylorMade is here today, but TaylorMade act like Pat O'Connor pissing his Cheerios, bro. He hates Pat O'Connor. I'm like, what crazy. Did he do to you?
Like, I'm not saying he game changer, but it's just like, the kind of slander I've been hearing the last week is like, come on, man. Like, I don't think it's that bad. It could be worse. It could be worse.
It's a depth piece, and he filled in pretty well, especially in that Packers game. But you don't, it just like Vildor, you don't want to see him on the field. But when he's on the field,
he's not supposed to be on the field. But
right.
At least I have confidence that he can thrive in that situation. And just based on the amount of times he had to do it this past season, I have more confidence that he's got game experience. I can trust him in this spot. But that's exactly, like I said, that's just me.
Exactly. All right. Let me get you with my prospect. We've been talking about all this pass rush.
Yeah.
All right. This is my early.
I wonder why.
All right.
All right.
He's 6'2".
All right. A little short.
Yeah. He's 248. His wingspan is 82 inches.
Okay.
His 40 time was a 4.62. I don't think we need to. I mean, do we need the 3 cone? And then, 3 cone was 6.
We don't need it.
6.94. Yeah. All right.
Does it? What's the vert? Did he have a vert?
His vert is just 35 and a half.
Okay. 35 and a half.
Yeah.
All
right. Now, I just had his stats.
You said this is a late round guy. Late round.
No, it's my first round guy. It's my first round.
It's your first round? Okay. Got it.
Yeah. All right. Here goes the stats. Okay. Dang, this is super small. I can't even read it. Hold on. Let me do this.
The buffs, man. You got to get the prescription buffs. You can't just have the style ones.
Bro, nah, this joint, because it's a black, whatchamacallit? Black background, like night vision or night mode. I got it right here.
Give me 1 second. I'm still here just fixing the light.
All right. Let's go with the last year. Okay. He had 80 total tackles, 37 solos, 3 forced fumbles, 17 sacks, and didn't need any interceptions. Okay.
Okay. 17 sacks. Sheesh.
Right. Okay. Now, okay. This is a crazy caveat. This is a part I didn't know. All right. So in 2021, he had 2 sacks. In 2022, he had 8 sacks. In 2023, he had 2 sacks. And in 2024, he went up to 17 sacks.
Oh, wow. That's a crazy range. All right. So in 2023, did he get injured at all? Is that what that's telling me? He got injured? Because I did that kind of like drop off is crazy.
Well, I mean, as far as the tackles, right? He had 80 in 2024 and 53 in 2023. So I don't think that he got injured.
Well, maybe he just wasn't getting home. I don't know.
All right. You have a guess at who this is?
When you said 6'2", I wanted to, my mind instantly went to Josiah Stewart, just because I know he's a shorter edge. However, I know it's not him because he's not a first round prospect. I'm going to say Nick Scordon.
No, I think isn't Nick Scordon like 6'3", 6'4"?
Oh yeah, he might be a little taller. As a matter of fact, let me look.
And I think he's heavier too, much heavier.
All right, Nick Scordon. Yeah, he's 6'4". 6'2". That's what's getting me. 6'2". Most of the edge rushers are like around 6'4".
I thought the 17 sacks would give it away.
At the edge rushing position? First round guy. I'm blanking.
All right. Anybody in the chat? Do y'all know? 6'2",
SEC,
17
Big
sacks.
10. You want to give me that?
ACC.
ACC. Okay. Let's see.
Chris Bird got it, but he don't know his name.
Well, that's helpful. You said ACC. First round guy from the ACC. Hold on. All right, I'm pulling up my cheat sheet now. Let me see.
Bobby Stark says Mike Green. He's in the MAC.
Yeah, he's in the MAC.
He's the return of the MAC.
Yeah, he played for Marshall, right?
Yeah,
we are Marshall. Another great movie, by the
way. Chris Bird says Boston College can't pronounce his name. So we gotta try. I think we got KG's frozen. Yeah, he's frozen. Hold on. I guess he got a kickback. Tactical Sport. The question was if you can guess who this player is. He's 6'2". I think it was 245 or something like that. Had 17 sacks his senior year. He plays in the ACC. Who is it? J Rod says somehow there are 2 chats rolling. Yes, there are chats from Facebook, chats from LNU, chats from Motor City Cats. So it's the LNU YouTube and the Motor City Cats YouTube. Some from Facebook. I haven't seen much from Facebook today. Let me Let me try to get him back. Hold on, let me refresh. Big fella 07, you got it. Hold on, let me refresh and see what happens. Hold on. No, he's not there. All right, so he's on his way back in. Tactical Spork says yes, a dude from Boston College, Donovan Ezeraku. What up, big fella? From Fort Worth, Texas. Had to look up the spelling. Y'all cheating. Y'all looking stuff up. Y'all can't use Google. Y'all can't Google this. You see some of y'all's chats while we get in here. So WPI says the only players on their interview list for Edge are Marshall Edge, Mike Green, formal Texas A&M Edge, Nick Scorton, formal Oh Hell No State Edge, Jack Sawyer, formal Michigan Edge, Josiah Stewart, informal. Didn't they interview Shamar Stewart? I thought they did. Everybody's using Google. All right, there we go. He's back.
We back.
All right.
Bro, I have the worst luck with these streams, bro. So just moment of vulnerability, real quick. So I have this MacBook, right? And you know, it has a battery issue. So I unplugged it because I didn't want it to overheat. You know, I felt it starting to get hot. And it's at 54% that decided to cut off. And I don't have Apple Care and definitely ain't got the money to fix it. So just a little, you know, just a little peek behind the curtain.
Bro, y'all, you do y'all have Afterpay?
Yeah, I mean we do, but I ain't using it for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely ain't using it for that. But
yeah, I just cop one on Afterpay, bro.
Hey, no, I'm definitely not like, you know, I'm not putting down Afterpay, not at all. But yeah, I just ain't doing it for that though. That's yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nah, the one that I showed you yesterday. Yeah, I just got that joint. Oh, Afterpay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see you looking fresh and clean, man.
You know, do what I do. All right. So they guessed it in the chat. It is Donovan Ezeraku.
How did you know what? That's crazy because this is shout out Easy. This is Easy's guy, man. He was putting me on him when I did the heavyweights show with him when I was filling in for Spinny, and he was like, bro, this guy right here. He was showing me the deep pass rush bag, and you know, it's a lot to like about him. It's a lot to like about Donovan.
Yeah, people named Donovan are the best people.
Yeah, except McNabb.
Well, yeah, he's not a part of our club. Okay, all right.
I understand. Just say you said Donovan, so
Exactly. Yeah, I did. Did I explain that to you? Did I explain the Don P thing and the Malik Peterson thing? Did I explain those
No,
things to you?
no, you
Okay.
explained the chef thing, but you ain't
Okay.
explained the Don P thing.
So Donovan is my first name. Malik is my middle name. Peterson
Okay,
is my last name. So this is
got it.
Motor City Don P is short for Donovan Peterson. All right.
Makes sense.
So, but Donovan McNabb, he's out the club.
Out of here. Him and the
Yeah.
Campbell's chunky can go.
Donovan Darius is cool though. I mess with Donovan Darius. All right. So his pros and cons. The strengths that he have is masterful technician. That's all we need to know. All right.
Yeah.
Strings together
It's
pass
apparent when
rush
you watching
moves.
too.
Right. Strings together pass rush moves with the timing and grace of a veteran, consistently forcing tackles or tacklers to tackles, yes, to guess wrong on his attack angles. Okay. Natural bend and ankle flexion allow him to turn impossibly tight corners, maintaining speed while reducing the surface area to a minimal target. Sounds a lot like James Houston, but with
A
moves,
lot, yeah.
right?
Yeah, a little more polished than James Houston in terms of
Right.
just the bag that he got. But yeah.
Right. Explosive first step. Paired with quick diagnostic skills, lets him shoot gaps and disrupt plays before they develop, especially what is that? Evident against zone runs. Let me do this thing again. I should have just pulled this up on my computer. Doing it on my phone is the problem.
Hey, production on the fly. Do it all the time.
Yeah.
As you see, as you just saw. Sometimes shit happens, man. You gotta adjust.
Right. Uses his length exceptionally well in the run game, creating separation with precise hand placement and timing to shed blocks cleanly. High level processing speed shows up in his ability to counter back inside when tackles overset, keeping blockers off balance with his variety. Relentless motor and pursuit mentality led to multiple cleanup sacks, never giving up on plays, even when initially blocked. So maybe that's how you got 17.
Yeah.
Advanced rush setup ability, consistently working moves in combination rather than relying on single moves in isolation. Exceptional flexibility through his hips and ankles allows him to contort his body through tight spaces while maintaining balance. I think we have to say pause on contort his body.
Yeah, a little bit. Just
Yeah,
we'll let it slide. I'll allow it.
He's a dude.
Yes.
All right. So here are the weaknesses. All right. Like you said, production on the fly. I'm not even trying the other way. All right. All right. The weaknesses. Frame limitations show up against power, particularly when bigger tackles can get their hands on him early in the rep and drive their legs. Lacks ideal anchor strength to consistently set a firm edge against the run, sometimes getting displaced laterally by double teams. Will occasionally get too focused on winning with finesse moves when a simple bull rush would be more effective. Despite good bursts, doesn't possess elite straight line speed to consistently win purely with athleticism at the next level. Still developing consistency in his hand usage, particularly in quickly countering when his initial move gets stuffed. Okay. Where are you comfortable getting a Donovan Ezraku?
No sooner than the second round, no later than the third or fourth. If he's even, and I doubt he'll still be on the board around round 4, but definitely not before the second, or like I said, not before second round, between second and third round.
All right, so I'm gonna tell you something crazy. In the latest PFF mock draft, he goes number 10.
10? Holy man. 10 is a, but I mean, I understand it. I do get it, but you really got to be working on some smartest guy in the room to pick him that high. I wouldn't pick him that high, especially with the options that you have available to you. At 10, I don't know if I'm taking him that high, but that's just, like I said, that's just me.
Are you taking him?
Would you take him at 10?
No.
Okay, just making sure. I just had to clear the air. Just had to clear the air. That's crazy.
That's too rich for our blood. If we're going up to 10, we better get a Abdul Carter.
We need, right. We need a pass rusher, but come on now, come on.
So, would you take him over a Mykel Williams, or I'm sure you'd take him over Princely? But if it came to Mykel Williams and Donovan Ezraku, yeah, I'm gonna throw one in there because I know you don't like him. Shamar Stewart, Nick Scordon. Are you taking him over any of those guys?
I would take Donovan over Nick. I would probably take him over Shamar. Mykel, that's a tough one. Just like I said, just based on the raw tools that he has. I don't know if I'm picking him over Mykel. I don't.
I think the range of Mykel, because when I'm framing these pass rushers, I'm looking at all these mobile quarterbacks that we're gonna have to play this year.
Right.
We're not paying any mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah, no, I got what you meant.
Just
I don't think this town ready for a mobile quarterback, man. As much as you see how they talk about golf. Don't let us get a mobile quarterback that ain't good. Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, we had Andre Ware. That was about the extent.
Yeah, that was about it. And John Kitna, whenever he wanted to risk his life, I guess you could call him mobile.
Yeah, John Kitna, he could get off. I mean, we had Dante Culpepper, but
yeah, we did, man. Oh, stop it, bro. Oh my God. Don't take me back to that part of my Lions fandom, please. Jeff Garcia. Jeff Garcia, man.
Yeah. Eastern Michigan's own Charlie Batch.
Yeah.
Didn't he win a Super Bowl with the Steelers? Wasn't he on that team?
Yeah, as a backup, yeah.
Yeah.
He definitely didn't quarterback that team, but yeah, he was on there.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And that was the one in Detroit, right? I think it was
XL
Steelers versus the Seahawks
with the bus. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, the bus won.
The bus coming home party.
Charlie Batch came home, so
yeah, man. It's the NFL script writing at its finest, man. Two homecomings.
That was our Super Bowl.
It really, which is bad because at that time it was. That's the sad part about it. It really was.
Like,
we was all happy with Jerome Bettis, like
exactly.
Where's Jerome Bettis? Like, oh man, don't take me back to that time. Jeez.
Fun fact: Jerome Bettis was supposed to come and give a speech at my elementary school, and he got into a car accident on his way from St. Louis. Didn't he got drafted by the Rams, right?
I want to say yes. I can't remember. I want to say yes though.
I mean, it was a minor accident, wasn't it?
Yeah, but still, yeah, that's crazy.
Couldn't make it.
It's hard to take that out. I say that.
Yeah. They call him the bus for a reason.
Right.
So am I more comfortable in the range of Mykel Williams? Yes.
So what we talking 15 to 20? You would
No, I'm saying like the range, like the body range. I mean,
the body range. Yeah.
But I think the wingspan is higher for Donovan, right? So I think Mykel was 81 and Donovan's 82.
With smaller arms, though. I mean, he's not nearly the size of my man. So I don't. and I hate to be a sizist. I really do, but that's the big thing with Donovan though. Like, you got big boys at this next level, man. You can't be getting pushed around, bro. Like, that's my only thing. It looks nice, and I was talking about Prince being crafty, but he's crafty with size. He's savvy with size. So to be honest, I don't know if I would pick him over Prince, to be real, but just in terms of like the power defensive ends, I would pick him over a lot of those type of guys, but not over. Once again, I don't know if I'm picking him over Michael though, because if you unlock something with him, he's going to be a monster.
Right. What up though, Kurt Steele?
The size don't worry you.
I mean, I never took you for a sizes, KG.
I know, man. You think you know people. think you know a brother, man.
Does the size worry me? No, because people similar size have thrived for a long time. I mean, you have, I think Hassan Reddick is a similar size. He's been very productive as a pass rusher. And I think Donovan Ezeraku's pro comp was Trent Cole.
All right.
We know Trent Cole was a dog.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. I just want to know, who are we drafting? Okay, and here's the crux of it. Who are we drafting that's going to help slow down Lamar Jackson? Which one of these guys is going to do that?
It's got to have somebody with some speed. I'll say that. That's the only way.
So, who is the fastest edge rusher? Would it be
to
Mike
me?
Green?
That's James. No, that's James Pierce.
Oh, James Pierce.
Hands down is James Pearson. That's who I really want the Lions to move up and get. And the character issues, y'all can talk that shit, y'all can talk that to death. I'm just not buying it, because one, it's an elite position in the NFL. Pass rushing, I think we all know now that defensive ends win championships. Like, that's a premier position, and he's a guy that, if he goes to the right organization, he's going to he's day one. He can make day one impact. You can't teach me.
So I said this before, but I think it kind of went. Okay, it's just.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say nothing.
Over mine or yours?
No, someone else.
Oh, okay.
I look at the Jalen Carter situation. Jalen Carter lied to police about a situation in which 2 people died.
Right.
So you don't draft him, and I can understand. I can understand that, because you also didn't know what his availability would be. Like, was he gonna go to prison? You know what I mean?
Right,
like,
right.
When you lie to police in the situation, and it's like you were involved because you were racing. The James Pierce thing, what are we? I mean, we're hearing he's a bad teammate.
But come on, man. You know how stuff like that can happen, though. You rub somebody the wrong way, like the word gets spread around, the combine, and then now you got a smear campaign. Like, I just don't know. When we talk about like attitude problems, that's so like vague, because what is that? Okay, I don't think he's uncoachable, because otherwise, like, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, or he wouldn't be touted as highly as he is. I don't know, man. I think it's overblown a little bit. It could be a multitude of things. It could be the school, the coaches he was dealing with. It could be, people at the NFL level that wasn't really vibing. Like, and I always just think back, just based on Lions history, I always think back to like Randy Moss. And I know that's going back a ways, but historically, that was the wrong decision. This was somebody that the Lions
Yes.
could have drafted, had attitude problems, and look what he became. So that's all I hear attitude issues, and I'm just like, well, did he hit somebody? Did he stab someone?
Well, I mean, Brandy Moss mooned the people in Green Bay. You don't want that.
Oh wow, an ass. Oh wow.
Yes.
Like,
And it
it's
wasn't
certain
even really
certain
one.
things we can work with, man. So, we the church over here. We come as you are,
So my thing is, Easy has been saying, as far as what he's heard, like the people in Tennessee were just so happy that he was out of the building. So I was listening to, I think it was Two Pros and a Joe, LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, and the other guy. I don't know who he is because he's not the pro. He's just the Joe.
Yeah.
When they were talking about Shedeur Sanders and they were talking about narratives, and LeVar Arrington, as we know, is someone who had a narrative around him for his entire career. And he talked about, being a victim of the narrative. Not that he was a victim, but the fact that the narrative, and I forget what his narrative was, but maybe he was lazy. I don't remember.
Right.
But it stuck with him for his career. So what he was saying and what Brady Quinn was saying is most of the time, what's happening with these types of stories is that the agents are spinning these tales, either because they're trying to prop their own guy up. So you go, all right, maybe it's Mike Green's agent, or maybe it's, someone like not Abdul Carter's agent, because Abdul Carter's agent knows where he's going.
Right.
But maybe it's a competing agent of a player who he's trying to get him a bigger contract or whatever, because they just kind of pop up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
As all, when you do this scouting and you're looking at the player when they're in college, all you see is, man, this dude, like I'll just use Donovan Ezeraku as an example with the production. Man, this dude has 17 sacks this season. Right. And then you're like, in the draft process, yeah, he has 17 sacks, but he would like help little old ladies across the street. And then when he got in the middle, he would push them over.
Right.
And he would giggle as he ran off.
Right. Maniacal villain. Like,
right. Where do these things come from? I don't know. I don't think that, because he's being billed as a terrible person. You know what I mean?
But like, how bad a bad teammate are we talking? Are we talking AB? Like, is he gonna walk off the field in the middle of a game? Like, I just don't know how bad of a teammate you can be when your production and you helping the team win kind of says otherwise. And of course, you could be a good player and be a locker room problem. I'm not saying that at all. It's just like, I just don't know. He's a kid still. So I feel like because he's coming into the pros, you're coming into an organization. Hopefully, if it's us, you come into an organization that, we have a lot of veteran led, player coaches, people that have been through the struggle, been through the grind, that kind of maybe can relate to a guy like that. And I just think that as a NFL franchise, you kind of have cachet to be like, okay, well, he's a young kid. If we get him in our system, we can change him, or we can at least, get him to what our standard is as an organization. So I don't know, man. It would have to, are there any specific stories as to anything he's done?
No. That's what I'm saying.
What are we talking about? And like you said, like it could be agents, playing the positioning game. Like it's a lot, bro. It's too open-ended just for me to be like, oh, I've heard he has, attitude issues, so I won't draft him, but he can help me win. Like tomorrow, like if he comes through the door tomorrow, he can help you win.
I mean, the classic thing is like, oh, the interviews were bad. Okay, but what's bad? You know what I mean? Like Did you ask him if his mom was a prostitute and then he crashed out because you asked him that
Right.
question?
Was you looking like Brian Daboll? Was you up there like him? Like, what exactly are we talking about here? It's just hard to know when you don't know the details.
Yeah, so character issues aside, because we knew what happened with Jalen Carter. It was publicized.
And that's a little different because that was like an actual incident that I can point to and be like, okay, yeah, he left the scene of a crime. He shouldn't have done that. Like we not hearing this out of him. So how bad could it actually be? Because if he was really that bad of a teammate, if I'm a coach, I don't care about your talent. Like, I will bench you like that in it, point blank period. If you're not, vibing with the team and just we not on the same page, I won't play you. And that's how most coaches would react. And if you don't like it, hit the transfer portal. Like, what are we talking about?
And it's not like they were competing for national championships. I mean,
right.
Go to Tennessee to win a national championship.
Yeah, like what are we doing? Like, and I hate to, because I'm really slapping out because I really want the Lions to get him, but I just don't want them to pass up somebody like that if they have the chance to get him just based solely off an accusation of attitude problems that we don't know nothing of.
Unless it's the Eagles that are trying to put this out there, I don't think he would have a chance to be passed over by the Lions, because he's got to fall way down the draft board for that to happen. Now, then there's a little we have PTSD as far as passing over players. The biggest form of PTSD that we have is Eric Ebron being drafted over Aaron Donald.
Mm-hmm.
That was a top. Was Eric Ebron drafted 8 or 10? Is it 10?
I thought it was 9 because for some reason that number always sticks in my head. I think it was 9. It could have been 8 though.
Okay,
but it was definitely, it wasn't 10. I know that, but yeah,
I think I think it was 8 because I think it was the same as TJ Hawkinson, and then we were just like, really?
Oh yeah, yep.
Using it,
and then Aaron Donald was 9. Yeah. That's so. How do you do that, man? I mean, in retrospect, it's easy to say, but just how do you do that?
So that's the thing, right? Because that's a top 10. If you're staying at 28, what is a situation where if James Pierce is there and you were to draft a guard or a tackle, then I would be pretty upset about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
It's in play though. This is Brad Holmes we talking about, but I feel you.
All right. I mean, Mel Kiper said they could target him, so I don't know.
Yeah, all right. Put all your stock in Mel Kiper, but it's just okay. So to me, if I'm Brad Holmes, and we already know Stan at 28 ain't necessarily Brad Holmes' strong suit. Like I think we all have a nagging, thing that he's going to move up in this draft, especially he's been dormant in free agency. So we already know what the play is. Now it's just about what's it going to cost? How far are we moving up? Last year with TA, they didn't move up that far. I think they only moved up 4 spots to go get TA. So this could be a situation in which if he falls within the 20s, you might not have to move up that far to get him, because I doubt, to me, he's a guaranteed first round pick, but I doubt he goes in the first 15 because there's just simply other players that, are rated higher than him defensively. And of course, to run a quarterbacks, you got to account for that and, everything else. If he's there and I'm pulling up the draft order again. If I'm sitting, if I see the Denver Broncos at 20, I might get him a call, and based on the connection there, hey, Sean Payton, what up, though? Let's talk. Let's talk, because James Pierce still on the board. This is somebody we're really interested in. I can't see Denver going after a pass rusher. I think that's a good spot to maybe you cash your chips in, whatever that may be, and move up and go get a guy like that. Would you be opposed to a strategy like that?
No, I mean, I'd love for. I think I did a video said we out here praying for James Pierce. Uh, so
No, for real, like
I
water
would
and
love
bread.
for him to be there. So and the other thing, I forgot this part, right? When they were talking about how these narratives get started, it was like, well, these things are put out for public public
Perception,
pontification or perception or
right,
whatever,
right.
because Brad Holmes and any other GM has a guy on his draft board, and he's not going to be swayed by all this noise coming out.
Yeah,
They've sat down with the player. I thought that they interviewed James Pierce at the combine. I'm not 100% sure.
I want to say they did.
Yeah. Someone earlier in the chat had a list that seemed really, really scant on the people that they interviewed. I was like, nah, I thought they interviewed Shamar Stewart and Samo.
Yeah.
But we don't know how the Lions feel about him.
Mm-hmm.
And they've had the time to talk to him or whatever. If you see them at, when is Tennessee's pro day? Did they have it already?
It's a good question. Let me see if I can find that.
Because I think if you see them at Tennessee's pro day, they're out there to look at James Pierce. Who else would you be looking at out of Tennessee? A receiver?
I mean, not a lot of people. Yeah, maybe skill position. I can't find it. Football Pro Day Tuesday. It must have already happened. That's what it's kind of looking like.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Oh, Pro Day schedule. All right, here we go. According to PFF, Tennessee, March 12th.
Okay. So they had it already.
It already happened. Yeah.
Let me ask Gemini.
Yeah, just make sure, double check that. But that's I saw that on PFF. So
I just want to know if they were there.
Yeah.
Oh, I asked in the actual chat with the deep research. Let me just ask.
Oh, excuse me, March 11th. March 11th is when they had it.
Okay.
According to this, make sure this is up to date. Yeah, 2025 tracker. Yep.
All right, let's see. Pro Day. Were the Detroit Lions at Tennessee's Pro Day? Let me see. There isn't any specific information that I am seeing.
Yeah, that might be kind of hard to get.
Okay. University of Tennessee Athletics, balls shine on Pro Day with all 32 NFL teams on hand.
Oh, wow.
So if all 32 teams are there,
big attitude problem, huh? This guy, he is a problem.
Yeah, let's go look at this guy. All right. So per A to Z Sports, Tennessee, every team in the league was there to no doubt get a look at edge James Pierce. But defensive tackle Omar Norman Lott is someone that fits Detroit, and we know they're already had combine formal with receiver Brew McCoy.
Okay.
So, wow, Georgia
6'3". Ooh, okay.
No, everybody was at Georgia. The Lions were in attendance at Rutgers. All right. So I know this is a little bit off the rails, but let's go. The Lions went to Wisconsin. They went to East Texas.
Mm-hmm.
There's a corner, East Texas A&M. There's a cornerback out of there. Kendall Paul.
You doing mad research.
Yeah.
That's a scouting department. Hey, get over here. I got something.
Well, their cornerback ran a 4.27 40. So
okay.
Lions were at Purdue. They were at Eastern Kentucky. Georgia Southern, Western Michigan, Kentucky, Austin P, Albion College. Bro, if Brad Holmes drives somebody out of Albion College in the 3rd round, I quit.
Bro. He versatile though, man. He might be versatile, man. You know, you're doing Albion, man. You probably got some stuff going on the side. That's a versatile player, man. You can use that in the locker room.
I quit. I'm not. I'm out.
I quit. I'm gonna go ahead and head out.
I'm gonna head out. Georgia, of course, Rutgers, Grand Valley State, GLIAC. What is GLIAC, bro?
I have
GLIAC.
Hey, talent evaluator. You know how to find them. Jesus, bro, man.
What the hell is that?
I have no clue.
Northern Colorado is the last one. So, I mean, they're
interesting choices on that list.
They're in some places, bro. Brad is looking for all the diamonds and all of the roughs because some of these people are playing in high school stadiums. I don't understand. Like,
yeah.
What is
positional value? Positional villain. He told you. He wore the hoodie, man. Positional villain. He don't care what you deem is the proper draft value. He don't. If I want to take somebody out of Albion in the 3rd, that's what I'm gonna do because I'm Brad Holmes. You feel me? that's how my man rock, man. That bald head energy, man. They real stern in what they want to do,
bruh.
The bald hair, the beard energy, dog. It's crazy,
bro. I can't do it. My face is too round. You know.
I hear you.
Plus, I 360.
You're right. Oh my god,
bro. Actually, funny story about that. I do Uber, right? So I had a barber. He was from New Zealand, and he got in the car, and the first thing he asked me, he was like, "Are you American?" I said, "Yeah." How'd you know? Because I don't think. Well, I spoke to him a little bit because I was probably like, "Yeah, you can tell by my accent." He was like, "No, your hair."
Oh wow.
He was like, "You got them 360s." I was like, "Yeah."
Oh yeah. It's a Detroit special. That's crazy. Yeah. How do you even find a barber out there where you at, man? Like,
bro, so I got my
you just going to any Aussie out there? Like, how does that even work?
No. So my my barber is a young dude. He's 19 years old. He's from Ethiopia. Dude is nasty.
Oh, that's what's up.
Dude,
that's what's up. He come to you or he stay out there or like?
No, I go to his house, right? To his garage.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Got you a YN, as they say.
Right. I did have a problem kind of finding one.
I bet.
And yeah. And then we were at the gym one day and we were playing basketball. My son was like, he's a barber. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah. And I don't know. We just kind of went over there one day. He cut me up. I was like, cool. I always, wherever I go, when I was in Qatar, I had a Nigerian barber. Dude got me right. When I was in Turkey, that was hit or miss.
I bet.
But the funny thing,
Turkey don't scream good barber. It just don't.
But no, there is a place in Turkey. There is a city where the barbers come from. Turkish barbers are famous.
Oh, really?
Right?
Okay.
So I messed around and went to a Nigerian dude. This dude tried to line up my eyebrows. I'm like, hold on, what?
Oh yeah, right. Hey, hold on, bro.
What are we doing? So when I went back to Qatar and I was I was teaching in the military, right? I told you I used to be an English teacher, right? I think I
Yep,
said
yep,
that.
you did.
Yeah. So I was teaching in the military, and they had me staying in this hotel. And right across the where my room was, there was a Turkish barber. And I finally broke down and paid his prices. He was killing it. Because
Okay.
all of his clients were from the base, from the US base.
Yeah,
So they would all just come to the hotel and get cut.
makes sense. Good hustle.
You know. So I haven't had too many problems finding barbers, but yeah, I think Australia was the most struggle worthy place finding a barber.
I mean, I can imagine. Ain't many of us out there, so I'm just saying it's different for the brothers, man. It's a
There's
little
a lot
different.
of Africans. There's a lot of Africans out here. Mostly Somali.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good to know.
Yeah, but getting cut, yeah,
Different story.
Yeah, it's a struggle bus. But nah, I found my guy, staying with him.
Yep, locking me in.
Right.
You can't go nowhere, man.
Exactly. Every other Friday.
Right. If you got to stay with me, it is what it is.
All right, let me do my late round prospect before we go. I don't have a specific.
I forgot we was even doing it.
Yeah.
You know what, low key? Yeah, low key, I'm kind of mad because I was really excited for the defensive tackles. Because I feel like I had some dogs on my defensive tackle list.
Come back next Monday, we can do those.
Sound good.
Yeah, we got a lot to get through. You know?
Yeah.
I don't like to be like, all right, let's get back on here, man.
Right.
Like, you got to keep to the schedule.
Right.
I know some people like that. I ain't gonna say no name. You know what I mean?
Hey, we'll keep it in the touch. But you know, this is a conversation. You know, it flows.
Yeah.
It has a flow to it.
Yeah, you chopping it up, man. All right. Let's see. I'm just gonna go way out in left field here. Okay. 6'1".
Oh.
263. Okay. 4.69 40-yard dash. Don't have his RAS score. He's a projected day 3 guy.
Okay.
I don't even know what school he went to.
Damn. Out of nowhere, man. Oh my god. You don't even know the school. That's crazy.
I don't know what school he went to. So I'm gonna give you
this a real person.
This is a real person. This is a real person. He went to Central Arkansas.
Oh, Jesus.
Let me see if we got any real draft buffs in the chat. Okay.
Right. Where the real ones at?
6'1", 263. Okay, go ahead.
No, because I see a 6'1", but it's definitely not that Arkansas school you talk about. But I see a 6'1" in here.
Yeah. So what y'all got, chat? 6'1", 263.
Damn, that is small, man.
4.69 40-yard dash, 1.65 10-yard split, 35-inch vertical, 9'10" broad jump. All right, so his overview. We're gonna read his overview.
All right.
Heralded FCS edge rusher with jarring production. Okay, I'm gonna get his production in a minute.
All right. Jarring. That don't sound very, very appealing right now, but we gonna see what it's
jarring in a good way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm hoping that's what it means. All right. So high impact stat columns. Yes. So jarring production and high impact stat columns. He almost gave you his name. He falls below height and length standards, but his game reminds me of 2024 draft pick Muhammad Kamara.
Oh, Hold on. What's your source here? No, I'm talking.
This is NFL.com.
Okay.
He has explosive, freaky power in his lower half. Pause. He can leverage.
Yeah, big pause.
He can leverage and anchor the point and create instant pocket consequences with his bull rush. He's an instinctive rusher with an above average attack portfolio, but a lack of length will be on an obstacle to overcome. He's an average athlete in space, but his movements near the line are controlled and fluid. Walker's stature might said his name.
Oh, yeah. Gave it up. But just keep going. I'll pretend I hear you.
I heard his draft standing for some teams, but it won't be a dream ender. He has rotational value as an edge rusher in a 3-4 defense. All right. Strengths: compact frame with outstanding power in his lower half, piled up tackle for loss and sack totals in every season he played, impressive at reading tackles' weight before attacking the weakness, explosive bull rush charge, sends tackles staggering backwards, greets blockers with force and active hands, embeds himself at the point with thick lowers and great leverage, low and quick to dart inside and wreck the run design. I mean, sounds a bit like a Mekhi Wingo. I'm just saying.
A little bit, yeah.
Weaknesses: squared off against competition, lacking pro caliber talent because he went to Central Arkansas. Lack of physical traits reduce his margin for error. Short arms could make it harder to batter and trim the rush edge. Loses contain due to green light to freelance inside. People were upset about JMO being a freelancer, and he turned out to be okay. Right?
Yeah.
Coach that out of him. Average short area quickness and agility in space. Does anybody know who this is? I gave y'all a hint. I gave y'all half of his name.
Hey, I'm out, big dog. This is a no for me, dog. I have no clue. How is he out of Albion? No, I'm talking. Yeah, I don't know, man. But
let me see if I can find his.
That's an interesting write-up.
See if I can find his stats. Okay, Central Arkansas Bears is crazy. All right, yeah. So in 2024, he had 68 total tackles, 54 in 2023, 62 in 2022. Sacks in 2024, 10.5, 7.5 in 2023, 12 in 2022.
Okay. Not bad.
Okay, so he can get to the passer.
Not bad. Okay.
Anybody in the chat?
Is it Matthew Betts? I don't know, man.
Bro, Matthew Betts. Bro,
Matthew Betts for the win.
Yeah, Matthew Betts height straight was crazy.
It was. It really was. That was the first signing of last offseason, if we remember correctly. That was technically the first signing. That was a wild time, man. That was a wild time.
There were people swearing on Matthew Betts.
Man, what?
They were swearing on Matthew Betts.
Nah, man, that was the time.
We're pissed off because James Houston made the team and Matthew Betts didn't. I'm like, James Houston showed you he can sack the quarterback in the NFL.
Exactly.
Matthew
in his
Betts
rookie
showed
year,
you
we
nothing.
talk about a CFL guy, like CFL legend. Don't get me wrong. He was the
CFL
man.
legend.
He's the man.
Like 40, he's like 46.
Right. You got to put respect on his name. It's like when Marbury went to China. You got to put respect on his name. That was a wild
crazy
time.
Oh my goodness, bro. I mean, and that shows you how much help we need on the other side of Hutch when people thought Matthew Betts was gonna be a real factor in the NFL. What did he have? Like 19 sacks or something one season in the CFL?
Yeah, something wild, something crazy. Yeah, it was like 18, 19, something like that.
Nah, I was out on Matthew Betts, bro.
Yeah, the Argonauts can have him. Whoever got him.
I don't even know where the art. I don't even know.
Yeah,
because I know he went back to the CFL. He didn't even wait around. He knew what time it was. He got cut,
right.
He was like, "I'm out."
I know where my bread butter. Stop playing. I ain't got to take this. You know who you talking to? CFL legend, boy. Got my name in the halls up here in Canada. Stop playing. I ain't got to take this.
Nobody has any guesses. Nobody has any guesses.
You lost. Hold on. In that list of schools that you mentioned, or the pro days, was Central Arkansas one of them?
No.
Oh, thank God. Okay. I really don't know who dog is, though. I don't. No disrespect. So I don't.
His name is David Walker.
David Walker. Okay.
David Walker. He's a Central Arkansas Bear.
He got the name of somebody solid. You like where the name is going.
Yeah. I mean, is it him or Broderick Martin? Like if you had a project.
Hey man. It's Broderick all day long. Man, what he gave to me in that one preseason game, man, is enough. It's enough. I can build off of that.
Didn't he crack somebody or something? Like he did something.
Something weird. Yeah, I can't remember now, but I mean, when he played preseason last year, I thought it was a chance because he didn't look terrible, man. I don't know what the big issue with him is. Is it footwork or like I just don't know. Because you feel like he would have got some playing time by now. But
I mean, he got playing time. He just doesn't have stats.
Yeah.
That's
the that ain't
like he played and didn't do anything. I mean, it's probably like a pad level issue. I mean, that's really if you want to talk about the power, we know he has power, we know he has strength. So, the problem when you saw his college tape is he was standing straight up. So
yeah, it's never good.
That's probably what he's dealing with.
Especially at his size, that is never good. Do you think he gets cut by camp? I know it's random. I know I just went off on a tangent, but you look at the additions they made. They brought in Roy. You bring back Levi. Makai Winko's coming back. With the Roy signing, you kind of like you done slid down the depth chart, if you ask me. Mm-hmm. So there's a good chance they could just part ways at camp.
How long did it take James Mitchell to get cut? 4 years?
3, I want to say. I want to say 3, but it could have been 4. They were really holding on to him for a while.
So, however long it took for him to get cut, I think that's Broderick Martin's window.
I see it.
And
but even if you don't get cut, you got to think that's the last chance. You got to.
There's another pathway though, because James Mitchell wasn't a project. James Mitchell was brought in to play tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Broderick Martin is a project, so they may be a little bit more bullish and a little bit more stubborn on keeping him on the roster.
Yeah, but how long do you keep somebody as a project into their second contract? Like, I mean, he damn near the rookie deal almost up.
No.
Yeah, so I was like, it's been what 2 years already? Like, I don't know, man. Like, how much longer is he gonna be a project?
I mean, how long do third round picks get? Do they get 4 years or do they get?
It depends on how good of a third. Some third round picks are starters. Like, it just depends on the type of third round pick you are. But they did pick him knowing he was going to be a project. And I mean, they did the same thing with Manu. The only difference is we saw Manu a little bit. He did get some snaps over this last season, and it seems like he's trending. He's on track to, maybe be the future over there at tackle, or at least be a depth piece. So I don't know.
I just
depends on who you are.
To stop with the projects. Like if you want to do one in the 6th round or the 7th round, just okay. That's cool.
Right. Yeah.
But stop. It's just,
I mean, at this point, we don't really need it. Yeah, at this point, we don't need it.
Yeah.
But if there was an area to take a chance at, it is defensive tackle if you're going to have a project, and just based on the people we've brought in, it makes sense to do it there. But it hasn't worked out, and you spent high capital on them. So
not in the third round, bro. That's just
yeah.
This,
I agree.
It's crazy. I mean, we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see what happens. What is it today? March
24th. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in 25th.
You in the future, all right.
Yeah, it's gonna be sunny with a chance of meatballs tomorrow.
I bet it is. And no barbers.
Oh, bruh. Oh man, the barber, bro. The barber struggle is rough, bro.
Yeah. Only reason why I can't move abroad unless my barber move it with me or something. Like, bro, you gotta just stay in the flat with me. I don't know.
It depends on where you go. I can hook you up. Just not here, bro.
I'm gonna avoid Turkey. I'm sorry. I'm avoiding Turkey.
Nah, bro. I'm telling you. Just after we done, look up Turkish barbers. There's literally a city in Turkey where the barbers
Row.
Right. Exactly.
Barbers Row.
Nah, this is one dude down the street from me. He's a Persian dude. And he's like the only one that could cut. So before I found my barber, I would like go to him. And then you go in the shop and you sit down and you wait and you got two dudes over there with empty chairs and they're like, and you're like, nah.
Yeah, I'm straight. You all know the empty chair. You know what that means. If you ain't got nobody in your chair when I walk in, then that's an indicator to me. It's just that it's not hidden.
Yeah, like I'm free. Yeah, this is the reason you free, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm waiting for him. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'll wait 5 people. It's fine. It's fine. I'm here anyway.
Bro. Yeah, like I said, the struggle for barbers, man. Yeah. It's a thing. But Angel, do you get lined up?
Yeah, not as often as I used to, but absolutely. Like what my wife does my hair now, so I ain't got to pay for it as much. But when I would go, get it professionally done, then I would just, had a barber on standby. They normally had a barber where I went, and we line me up. Yeah.
I mean, I have a story about my wife and hair, but she might get pissed at me for telling it on the stream. So I don't know.
I'm getting in trouble for me then. I ain't worth it. Trust me. I can't help you from all the way over there. I can't.
I'm gonna tell the story.
Wait. Your discretion advised.
So when I first got to Qatar, right, I used to cut my own hair.
Okay.
So I don't know if we were supposed to be going somewhere or whatever. And she's like knocked on the door and she was like, "Are you finished?" Now I tell you, my wife is Australian. So some of the terms that we use, they don't know. Right.
Little foreigner.
Right. So I was like, "Yeah, I'm almost done. I'm just lining myself up." She was like, "Oh, you're so vain. Blah, 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 blah." I'm like, "What?
What? Okay.
Bro." She thought lining myself up meant putting the waves in my hair. I said, "No, dear. This is my hair."
Right. No. That's crazy. Oh man. But that's a real thing. Wherever you go, man, the dialect be a little different. Yeah,
it's just but
what up though over there might mean something totally different. You don't even know. Like might mess around and get got that way.
The funny thing, now it's not really a thing, but before I left Detroit, I didn't know what up though was just Detroit.
I feel you. I didn't necessarily know that either when I was younger. Yeah.
But now that it's, the internet and everything, like people can experience things. But I was just like, oh.
Right. I thought it was just regular speech.
I
go into other cities, what up though, and most people understand what you mean.
Yeah. They know what you mean, but they don't really, you know what I mean?
You're right.
They're not gonna say it back. They'll be like, "What up, though?" You'd be like, "Oh, hi."
You're right.
Bro, I had
Crazy.
one more thing before I go. I had this AI art group that I used to be in on Instagram,
Mm,
and it was. I'm not gonna say too much about the dude,
right.
but the dude was from Detroit, and so I seen that he was from Detroit, and I dropped in, and I was like, "What up, though?" And he was like, "Hi." I was like, "Okay, nah."
Oh, yeah. It's the difference, man. Detroit and Metro Detroit is two different places.
He's definitely on a different train. I'll tell you that much.
right. Oh man.
All right, man. So
this was fun, man.
Yeah, next Monday, let's come back and cap. I don't even know if we're gonna cap it off. It might be a series up to the draft. Who knows?
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, I'm not mad at it.
If you got the time, I got the dime.
Hey, sound good. Good. We can make something happen. We work something out.
Yes, sir. All right. Once again, everybody in the chat, appreciate you guys for coming, hanging out, stopping through.
Bless. Appreciate y'all.
Participating in the chop up session. Zach J, maybe you need to lay off the Taco Bell. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Powerful in the lower half.
All right, y'all. Once again, Motor City Cats back at it. Came to give you stats, not static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And we are out. Peace.